Okay, welcome back to Nothing in the Crib. Sorry it's been so long. I was returning videotapes. I went down like a couple rabbit holes when I was researching stuff for the pod, and I like depressed the fuck out of myself. I just came out of like a 7-day fucking. It was bad. Coincided with my period, as those like bad bouts usually do, but holy shit. For the next episode, I'm gonna do one on addiction. I think it's time to pull that guy out of the hat. Only because when I was having some of like the really low parts of those days, it makes you realize, I was like, oh, this is the shit that I thought was like gonna last forever, that would drive me to like do drugs before, because you in the moment you forget that it will pass, and I think that drives a lot of people's addiction. So we're gonna do one on that, but for today I also want to get back to the political satire. I got very depressing. I'm so sorry. I started getting so fucking angry. You know, the more you dig and the more you find, heavy is the head that has the fucking knowledge. So we're going to do food at the end, because I've also been promising that, so I've got some stuff to show you. But we will get back to our regular political snarky fucking programming, and on that note, I have a lot to catch up on because it's been so long, sorry. I'm not talking about anything with fucking vaccines. I am so fucking restricted right now on Instagram. I am like a pubic hair away from having my Facebook taken away. Instagram lets me get away with a little bit more. Not much, though, at all. And, you know, you can tell they're ramping up for the election bullshit, because they've been going... I saw Tim Kennedy had posted this too. He's like, oh, they're going like 4 years back to try to ding you with shit. And they went through my stand-up. And the reason I was able to post my stand-up before, and the reason it's a problem now, and why I got demonetized and then I got some violations and shit, were because Instagram very quietly changed its policies of what you can and cannot post. And one of the things that was included in there was you are not allowed to make light of any kind of, you know, abuse, violence, anything like that, in any way, shape, or form. So my stand-up that I do, I know I'm a female comedian, I understand that. I don't talk about my fucking vagina. I get uncomfortable listening to other people talk about theirs. That's not the comedy I like. That's why I don't like a lot of female comedians. I have not one joke about my pussy. Okay? So, my stand-up is about the fucking crazy life I've had and all the shit that's happened to me. And one of those things is being an Italian daughter who got the shit beat out of her by her Italian mother and grandmother. It's some of my best stuff. I love it. It makes me laugh the fucking hardest. I am not allowed to joke about getting my own ass beat by my own mother. That's what I got dinged with. They just fucking ripped through all the little clips and checked them. So, fuck it. I'm demonetized now. So, that'll take some of the barriers off what I say. But I do have to be careful, because now I'm super restricted. I would like some people to eventually see my shit. That goes part and parcel with it, you fucks. But, anyway... let's talk about the RNC. The debate was hilarious. I don't give a shit if you don't like Trump. What a baller fucking move. And he's right. People think he did it to be a dick. I'm sure a little bit. Sorry, I have something in my fucking eyeball. I'm sure a little bit of it was for him to be a dick, but his actual logic, which is correct, is that nobody's even close to him in the polls. Why the fuck would he bother? Like, let all of them fight it out for the number 2 spot. Although, I will say, the only one I like is Vivek Ramaswamy. Hope I'm not butchering that. But also, beware of the gilded tongue of people. We've learned that that's usually something to be a little bit worried about. People are attacking Vivek because they're bringing up old tweets, old fucking posts of him having a different stance on vaccines and stuff. Not on mandates and shit, but just on vaccines in general. And he has addressed those. He's interviewed with him, and RFK are great because they go interview with everyone, which is what you should be doing. And the reason they're doing that is because the RNC doesn't like Vivek, because even though on paper he's what they want, again, he's not like a push button controlled person. Same thing for RFK. On paper, he is an amazing fucking candidate. I love him. I think he would be a great president. And you should be very suspicious when the respective parties are not pushing forward with candidates who are very clearly logically good ones. So he has, stated multiple times, hey, just like everybody else, and I do respect this about him, he said, just like everybody else, you're given information and you take it at face value because one would think you could trust the government. And you make decisions based on that. And then when information comes out, you change your fucking mind. And the fact that people are trying to vilify him for that this is what's fucking wrong. One of the many things wrong with the world. And this is why Bill Maher. I love Bill Maher. I love Bill Maher because he is a real 90s liberal. That is how I used to be. Now I'm fucking anarchist. That's what I will call myself. Fuck the government. Fuck it. But for the sake of what we're doing right now, I grew up a real 90s liberal. Anti-war, pro-rights, everything. Everybody should make their own fucking decisions. They were kind of like, fuck the government too. That is not what liberalism is now. But Bill Maher also said he was given information, made a choice. Once you get correct information, you change your fucking mind. You shouldn't be vilified for fucking doing that. But for the RNC, when they did the Republican debate, the best thing that could have happened is if, while Vivek was speaking, Chris Christie trundled his fat fucking ass around the room, ate the rest of the fucking candidates, and then died of a fucking cardiac arrest. Hypothetically, I feel like that would have been the most entertaining debate ever, and probably would have just saved everybody a lot of time, because none of those fucks were any good. I live in Florida. I love Ron DeSantis for Florida. I have never supported him as a presidential candidate because he's done enough things where he's very reactive and not in a necessarily productive way. But for the state of Florida and the things, the way I like to operate, love him. Stay here. Stay with us, Ron. All will be well. You also, again, one would think, if you keep indicting Trump, every time they've indicted him, his fucking ratings have gone up. After, the second time, maybe you should stop. After the third time, when it happens again, if you really hate him and don't want him to be president, maybe you should stop. Because now, with this fourth one, now you've got a problem. Because you brought in Fannie Willis. And this bitch is shady. The Fulton County fucking DA, who is been going after him for a while, is about to be potentially in some trouble. And God bless Senator Moore, because he's going after that bitch hard. Because this is not the first time she's done shady shit. And if you want to know why he's going after her so hard, one of the many shady things that she's done is she held a fundraiser or something for one of his political opponents, and it was done in such a way that was you can't do that. It was done in a way that was, she's so open about her dislike for certain politicians and certain candidates and shit like that, which is fine. Hate whoever you want, But you cannot actively move forward on doing detrimental things towards people, especially fucking illegally, you psycho bitch. And again, that last one fucking backfired like a motherfucker. Because it's ridiculous. And on top of the fact that it's fucking ridiculous, I don't think people realize that what he is being indicted for, there is ample evidence of like no less than 9 other fucking people, including Hillary, who have done the exact same thing that they're going after him for. So, if he becomes president, he cannot pardon himself. Or he's got like a 6-month window before he can, something along those lines. But he can say, this is now what I am actively being indicted over, and he can go after them. And the fact that these people are so blinded by their rage, that's how you know that it's coming from just rage. Because common sense is not prevailing. They're not even doing the most basic thing of common sense, which is to protect your own fucking self. They don't give a shit about that anymore. But that's also because they've gotten away with all the bullshit for so fucking long. But that's gonna end. Like, things are gonna get worse before they get better. I'm just telling you that right now. But for the first time, it's not so depressive because it will get better. Also, what a mugshot. On top of how amazing the mugshot is, I personally have been having a fucking field day with the memes that are being made with his mugshot, which are mostly like Karen blonde haircuts being photoshopped on his head. And then my favorite one was the face, this face is about to ask you for your most buttery Chardonnay. That one fucking made me piss myself. So I also like, you can tell that things are changing because both sides of the corporate sponsored fucking media are now going at Biden double barrel. And I live for when they interrogate whoever is the press secretary that day. Karine Jean-Pierre is like a cockroach. That is a resilient ass bitch. The fact that she is able to keep a straight face with some of the shit she says, when she just like flat out doesn't have a fucking answer and she just, I don't know, it's amazing. It's like watching a fucking crazy person. Peter Ducey is a saint. God bless him. God bless him for making everybody in that room so fucking uncomfortable every time he opens his mouth. Because there's something magical happening right now with all of Biden's lies starting to get called out. Now, he's been lying. I don't know if people realize this. He's been lying since the start of his fucking political career about things as fucking stupid as his education or any of his accolades. And while that stuff is very easy to look up now, back then it wasn't. And that's what you need to understand. That's why he is in that, like, auto mode. That's why he's so comfortable fucking lying. That's why he's so comfortable all these fucking old fucks are comfortable lying. Because they have done it for their whole life during a time when information was not easy to access. And there was very, very heavy restrictions on what you could. Because everything was just, the internet wasn't what it is today. So when you've never had to watch what you say, it's incredibly difficult to watch what you say now. And then couple that with him being in the throes of fucking senility, and you've got a problem. I mean, not a problem for us. I think it's great because he's just digging his own proverbial fucking grave. But normally it's just in one ear and out the other. When he lied about being at Ground Zero, though, the other day, on the day after 9/11 happened, and he said it on the anniversary, that was a little rough. That was rough to listen to. I remember that shit. I'm an old bitch. I was in high school. I was in history class. Mr. Richards, he was the wrestling coach. And I remember it. Like, I distinctly remember he just turned on the TV and we all sat down, and for the rest of class, nobody said a fucking word, and we just watched. And then that shit sucked. But, again, fucking asshole who just lies. He doesn't realize that this, he's played this part. He's played this folksy family man for his whole fucking career. His whole very corrupt fucking career. And because he doesn't realize that people know it's bullshit, he doesn't understand that it's coming off as, contemptuous to us now. That people don't want to fucking listen to that shit. You can't listen to it. It's when somebody's lying to you and you're like, we know you're fucking lying. Why are you? And you know that we know, but I don't think he knows. I don't think he knows. Do you think that asshole knows how to work the fucking internet or computer right now? He doesn't understand. Stop being surprised. And the way he attempts to console and, connect with people is fucking crazy. The shit he pulled in Maui, where he, again, lied. Stop making everything about you. Why the fuck would you go somewhere? Something so terrible, so fucking awful has just happened. It's so much more deep-rooted than I think most people realize. And lie about a fucking kitchen fire that you had? Disgusting. Grow up. Joe Rogan had Tulsi Gabbard, who I love. Man, you want to talk about somebody who would be the perfect fucking president? And again, she was. She was the perfect fucking candidate, and they ran her out because she refused to be a puppet. She's a fucking other one. And then they had and he also had a BJ Penn on with her. Both Native Hawaiians, and he's a bad motherfucker. He is an MMA fighter, and he was a bad bitch. But they went into, how long these problems that led up to this were. Historically, again, fucking with money. Not getting funding they need. Things aren't being done. They're promising to fix things and keep things updated and do these things. They privatized all the fucking water. The people in Hawaii don't even have access to their own fucking water, on a good day. And if you don't think that's fucked up, fucking water. Why would you privatize something that everybody fucking needs to survive? Only tyrants and bad guys do that. And we fucking know it. And, they had the outcry. The one good thing is the people from there are not standing for it. They are being extremely vocal about how fucking disgusting they find the response to be, as they should. Apparently the mayor didn't show his face for over a fucking week, and he lives there, you piece of shit. And school was out that day. Roads were blocked off. The alarm system that they have was not sounded. It wasn't broken. It was working just fine. They did not use it. And when it goes off, it sends an alert to everyone's phone. And it says specifically, you can cater the message. And historically, it's been used for tsunamis for 4 days out from something happening. And they didn't use it. And he's like, oh, I didn't want everybody to think there was a tsunami. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You can put the message on there where you would normally put tsunami. You put fire. And, again, it's not like here. It's not like these kids are in fucking daycare. These kids are home alone. So parents were unable to get into where their homes are, where your children are fucking alone, burning alive. And even if you can get there, the water is not on. The request for access to water wasn't approved for 6 or 8 hours. And by then, it's obviously fucking too late. They had one of the women who, a local, who was leading some thing to, go out and find people. And it was so emotional to watch. Obviously she was incredibly emotional when she was relaying it. One of the women she was with one of the roads that had been barricaded and blocked off. She was with her friend and they were looking for her family. And she found her brother, her sister-in-law, and their 3 children trapped in the car, burnt alive. And apparently every car on the road, it was just whole families packed into cars, burnt alive. So, you know, people are, you know, I know you got, of course they're going to be upset. You know, everything's gone. They lost everything. Mad about their land. It's much more deep-rooted than that. I'm a fucking parent. That shit made me bawl my eyes out. Are you shitting me? Like, that's a lot. That's a fucking lot. So, it'll be interesting to see how they fucking deal with that. But yeah, that was another one that Biden just fucking blew out his asshole. I don't know. But as far as candidates go, you know, I would like at the end of the day to see it be RFK versus Trump. I think those are the only 2 people who have articulated very clear-cut plans for how they want to move forward to actually fix things. Vivek has actually laid out a really detailed plan for how he will dismantle, like, you know, the 3-letter acronym fucking core bullshit institutions that need to go, like the CIA and FBI and all those other fucking blowers. But he's not like... Trump's just, you know, he's going to come in like a fucking steamroller. And normally somebody who's that volatile, I'd be like, you're crazy. That's what we need right now. Because shit has been pushed past the brink. This is not like an easy come in and ease your way in and, you know, get your feelers about you. We need somebody who already knows what they're fucking doing, who can walk in and just kick the fucking door down because shit is fucked. RFK is also the only candidate who laid out how he's going to deal with the housing crisis. And also on, like, you know, legitimately for just, like, middle-class Americans to even start buying homes again. Also, side note, go watch the movie The Big Short. If you haven't, because we're in the housing bubble that occurred in 2015. And, like I said, shit's going to get worse before it gets better. And, you know, I don't know that for a fact, but I had already thought that. And because I was thinking it, I was like, And I went and looked up the guy who, I can't remember what the fuck his name is. It was the guy who predicted the housing bubble and the crash and all that fucked up shit in 2015. And he's saying it's happening again. So I was like, okay, I'm probably correct. But, and again, RFK is everything the DNC should want. On paper, that motherfucker is the perfect candidate. In reality, he's the perfect candidate. He's followed through with everything he said. He's also the perfect candidate because he is reluctant. Nothing is more suspicious to me than somebody who very actively wants to be president. Because you know that that's a fucking shit job. Trump and RFK both. They're like, do we want to do it? No. But do we need to do it? Yes. And that's who you fucking want in that position. If you want to hear how his plan he laid out, also, Tim Dillon, who's one of my favorite fucking comedians, he had RFK and his wife Cheryl on, who's a fucking hilarious actress and comedian. But it's a great conversation. And he, at no point, discusses another great thing about RFK. He refuses to discuss any legal things going on with either Biden or Trump, which I think is amazing because he likes to not pull focus from what his plans are for shit. I will touch briefly on something the Biden administration just did that is one of those double-edged swords. Do you guys remember the Willow Project? This was a huge deal. Trump gave oil leases for parts of the Alaska Wildlife Refuge. at the end of his administration. And all these climate fucking idiots went batshit. I'm calling them climate idiots because if you look at global temperatures over large amounts of time, they are constantly going up and down. The reason it's hotter now is because if you look at the average overall temperature since the Industrial Revolution, it went up because of all the pollution we put in the air. We are now putting less pollution collectively in the air than we were then. So the same cycle of temperatures going up and down is what is occurring right now. It's just on a different plane. And if you don't see that they're using the climate hysteria as another thing to just grab control of anything they can fucking use it for, then you are the problem. You are the fucking problem. Go glue your hands to something so somebody can fucking rip them off. Anyway, the Biden administration just canceled the fucking oil leases. And everybody's like, oh, yay, look at everything he's done for the environment. Look at everything he's done. Let me tell you what the fuck is about to happen because of this. And it's funny because you used to be able to look a lot of this stuff up. And just like that, all of a sudden it's very hard and you gotta dig for it. Biden has now made it so that we have to import essentially all of our fucking fossil fuels. He's making it so we're dependent on other fucking countries, on their supply, and also on their willingness to fucking sell us that shit. That's a problem in and of itself. When you eliminate our ability to domestically produce our own fucking fossil fuels, you're taking another way that you're taking livelihood out of the hands of the American people, you fuck. But it's much more multi-planed than that because nobody's discussing the trucking supply chain issues. Tons of trucking companies went out of business between 2021 and now. Yellow Corp Trucking was one of the biggest ones. They went out of business. Others are not doing well. We have no supply chain to even get this shit throughout our own country once we can get it from another country. We're being put in a very precarious situation right now because of this, I think. And again, I don't know shit about fuck. I'm telling you what I think. But I guarantee you that natural gas and oil prices are about to fucking skyrocket because of the other added element that we have to this. When you eliminate our domestic ability to drill for our own fuels, throw in the supply chain problems that nobody is discussing, and also the reserves that we had, because we had our own, federal national reserves of oil and shit. Biden tapped into those. If you will remember, so much shit happens so fast, everybody fucking forgets. Right before they did the 2-year, primers, whatever the fuck it is, he tapped into those reserves to slightly lower gas prices so that they could say, look, prices are dropping. He has, and fucking, people were going batshit. Oh, no, it's fine, everything's fine. It's not fucking fine. Those reserves are about to run out, literally. Those are supposed to be for emergencies, like times of war. So not only are we going to be out of our emergency fucking reserves, but we have no backup. We have no way to move it across the country. And we're just playing a fucking crapshoot with what our availability to have it to begin with is. Because if you don't think that other countries are laughing, watching us fall on our face right now, and that some people haven't been waiting for this fucking moment, then you're delusional. He is setting us up for the millionth fucking time for fucking disaster. Please do not be surprised if shit goes through the roof shortly. And again, if we don't get that fucking asshole out and get anybody in who is just like 100% devoted to, you know, keeping the money here, and unfucking America, we're going to hell in a handbasket. You know, the fact alone that they very openly misplaced $6 billion with the money to Ukraine, you know, the money laundering that's going on. And when they collectively assessed how much it would cost to completely rebuild and put back together Maui, it was only $5 billion. Make that make sense to the people who found their children burnt alive in their home. Make that make sense to people who found their families burnt alive in their fucking cars, barricaded in the streets. Or who watched their child be on fire and had no water to put them out. Tell it to them. Explain it to them. You know, you can't. We're fucked. For now. I'm not trying to be all depressy. Just for now. Speaking of fucking assholes, nothing made me more happy than watching Oprah, the fucking scumbag of the world, and The Rock, who, how disappointing. I liked him. You know, ask people who can't pay their rent or feed their children for money. That's fucking hilarious. And I love that everybody responded the exact same way that I felt, which is fucking disgusted. Of course we're going to be fucking disgusted. That is the cringiest fucking video I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not going to show you that video. That video has been played. I am going to show you another video that I found that's even more cringy. And it's going to be a testament to how far removed from reality this fucking bitch is. It was her response to being attacked and criticized for setting up the fucking Maui fund. Sorry, hang on. I'm not good with technology. All right, here we go. Sorry, I had to look at my clock, make sure I timed it right. So this is some reporter asking her how to respond to how she's being fucking attacked.
I want to shift gears a little bit and turn to the Hawaii wildfires and the efforts to help those in need. The People's Fund of Maui was created by you and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, in which you both poured time, effort, and millions to kick it off yourselves. Yet and still, it faced online criticism. I want to give you the opportunity to kind of give your thoughts on that.
Well, this is a really great point about being happier in the midst of an onslaught of being terrorized and vilified online. Mm-hmm. I will say this, I came out of this experience, I was just saying this to Arthur this morning, with so much more compassion for young kids, because I was thinking, what if I didn't really know who I am? What if I didn't have the assurance of Invictus, that I am the master of my own fate and the captain of my soul? If
it would have taken you down.
It would have taken, it will take you out. Yeah. So all of the online, being
slander and
attacks, lies, conspiracy theories, really took the focus off of what was the most important thing, and that was the people of Maui. So this idea.
Charming Harpo. That's what my father called her. He fucking hated that bitch. First of all, the people of Maui are the ones who attacked you. They were the first fucking people to be like, excuse me? And then the second set of people were the 50% of the fucking American population right now who can't afford food. And that's like an accurate number, just in case you're fucking wondering. Like, what? What planet do you live on where you are gonna also, the fucking audacity to use the term conspiracy theory? Bitch, your fucking life guru, life coach, whoever the fuck that you've been touting to fucking people your whole goddamn life, got arrested. You also flew him on your private jet to fucking Epstein Island. Go fuck yourself. It's not a conspiracy theory. You can look it up. You're a fucking piece of shit. I hope that the people of Maui rise up as one against that fucking bitch. That is some fucked up shit. But, and that's true. You can go look all that shit up. I can't remember his fucking name. But, it's there. It's just so gross. We have all these pieces of shits just fucking floundering around. And again, it's the same thing I said before. They have spent their lives being able to say and do whatever the fuck they want without fucking consequence. And, you know, despite social media's best efforts to censor everybody, you know, everyone can find a way. We can all find a fucking way. You can find a way to find it. You can find a way to fucking share it. It is impossible to hide from us anymore. So, you know, be proud of yourself, because we are bringing accountability to these fucking fucks for the first time in their lives. They've never experienced it in their little ivory fucking towers. Not no more. All right. On to the food stuff, because I've been promising you that, so I'll keep it short. I've got like physical examples of some food stuff, some stuff I keep in my house. And I'm going to recommend right out of the gate 2 brands to you that we buy the most. It's Kevin's Natural Foods and Real Good Foods Company. They both make, you know, tons of different shit. The Kevin's Natural Foods makes a ton of really good keto stuff. Or like carnivore, you know, whatever, any mix of those things. The Real Good Foods Company makes just healthy shit in general. All low calorie, good ingredients. They're not fucking poisoning you, so I recommend those. And then, let's see, what do I have here? So for stuff, just like ideas of like swapping stuff out. Syrup. So I buy it's Kodiak Cakes Protein Pancake Mix. It has great fucking macros, super good ingredients. So I use those to do, if the kids want pancakes, I do it with those. And then, this is not the brand I normally buy. I like to get Carrie's. They were out. But sugar-free syrup. This one's okay. I only let them have this one like once a week though, because it's got some sunflowery soy fucking shit in there that's no good for you. And then these are my wraps that I use, but I buy the same ones regular for the kids for Taco Tuesday. So this is Olay Extreme Wellness. So these ones are really good, and they don't taste weird. I don't eat shit that tastes weird. I'm not gonna eat shit that's weird. I'll eat like weird things that taste good, but I'm not gonna eat stuff that tastes like shit. That's crazy. Also, Tostitos, fuck you, with the fucking seed oils. God damn it. Can't stand that shit. So instead of Tostitos, I don't know how to say that shit. Siete? Is that a number? You know I don't speak Spanish. These are grain-free and no seed oil. Good for you guys. They come in other flavors too. They come in like nacho cheese and lime. Jimmy found these. This next one. Miracle Noodle, organic. I was highly suspicious of this. I bought some shit like this like something that looked similar a couple of years ago, and when I opened the package, I almost vomited because it was so fucking gross, whatever it was. These aren't. They have the exact same taste and texture as like Asian glass noodles. So I wouldn't suggest using them for everything, but especially if you're making Asian stuff, this is great. And it's 10 calories for the whole bag. And there's nothing in it that's going to fucking hurt you. So this is like prime time here. And then for sweet treats, I found these. I was so apprehensive to try this on the kids. Because they wanted like something sweet, and I absolutely do not let them have sugar during the week. Like, sorry guys, not fucking happening. They'll get over it. They're already over it, to be perfectly honest. They gave me like 1 week of shit, and I didn't explain it to them like I explained it to you. I'm not trying to terrify them, but I did sit down and explain to them that eating too much sugar, my father would always talk to me. My dad was a doctor. He'd always talk to me and explain things as if he was talking to like a medical professional. And if I didn't understand something, I would ask questions and he would answer them. And it never overwhelmed me. It actually led to me having a lot more information than a lot of fucking people my whole life. So I explained to the kids, this is what happens to your cells when you eat too much sugar. And I explained what the influx of like glucose does. I go, this is how you get diabetes. And the reason this came up is because Connor went for his checkup and they, had to check his iron, so they pricked his finger. And we were talking about how if you have diabetes, you have to do that, essentially in some facet for the rest of your fucking life. And he was so blown away by the fact that you can't cure it. He was like, he's like, you can't get rid of it? And I was like, no, you have it forever. And then late stage diabetes is Alzheimer's. So then, you forget everything. And if you explain things to children in a very clear, non-emotional, medical manner, they will receive it. I fucking promise you. So I did let them try this. And they fucking liked them. I love them. But, skinny dip cups. What are the macros on this? Okay, so 1 cup is 70 calories. 2 grams added sugars for 4% total. That's fucking amazing. And me showing you that, this is why you have to fucking read. This looks great, right? Jimmy bought these because he read the front. So the serving size is 2 bowls for 200 calories. And I looked at the ingredients after I ate one because I was like, this is fucking delicious. And sure as shit, there is 10 grams of added sugars for a whopping 24% of your daily value of sugars. This is too high. This is one of those things where I tell you, you have to read the fucking ingredients because they will get you. Also, where was it? There was something in here. Oh, the type of they have a plant protein in it. So don't eat plant proteins. The amount of sugar in the plant protein in this alone, it's a no-go. Yes, this is better than like a fucking cupcake. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be like crazy and too harsh. I'm just talking about, I'm using this as an example to show you how easy it is for people to be ingesting things they think are healthy and they're not. And the peanut butter's been pissing me off. The difference in price of peanut butter that is bad for you and peanut butter that is good for you is fucking insane. You can get regular peanut butter for like $3.99. This costs fucking almost $8. That's fucked up. They make it so fucking hard for you to be fucking healthy. And this is one of my many fucking gripes with this shit. All natural, like no sugar added, fucking go through the ingredients, and you can tell by the macros, because the macros on regular peanut butter are not the fucking same. So again, this is 2 grams added for 4% total for sugars. That's fucking great. I like peanut butter because, again, I'm on carnivore diet. I like high fat. It's like carnivore mix of keto with my prep diet too. But, you know, saturated fats are not bad for you. Just so you know. Again, and we'll get into that too. And then I've got 2 more, I promise. If you need a swap out for Kraft, Nestle, all those companies, go fuck yourselves. You're killing your children. So Annie's, we buy the box that has the 3 different kinds. Their regular, like side-by-side comparison, their replacement for Kraft macaroni and cheese is exactly the same. Prepared exactly the same, just completely different ingredients, completely different fucking macros. And lastly, this is my little guilty indulgence I've found that I love. These are fucking delicious. I love Costco. Costco has both amazing stuff and shitty stuff. I've found those fucking protein balls are from Costco, but this is too. You just have to read stuff. These, A, taste fucking really good, and B, let's see, where are we at for here? 0 grams added sugar. It's 13 grams of protein, which is great. It's only 2 grams of carbs. And again, high saturated fat, high total fat, which is what I want. And these are naturally aged cheeses are the cheeses that are best for you. Those have like the best content for your actual body. That's what these are made from. And there is not one thing in the ingredients that can kill you or give you cancer. So, highly recommend. But yeah, you gotta read. You gotta read the macros, and you have to read the fucking ingredients. And I'm just gonna touch on this briefly. The reason so many people think that fat is bad for you is because of big food and big pharma working in collusion to get you sick, make you buy their shit. You know, they want you to buy their diet products, and then the diet products make you fucking sick with whatever ailments. And if you get sick with, diabetes, you're a lifelong patient. So you're always going to be feeding them money in some facet. Vitamin K2. K2 is 100% proven to clear out your fucking arteries and help your heart function better. K2 is most prevalent in red meat, not shitty red meat. Gotta get away from the processed shit. And again, I know it's fucking money. It's more fucking money. It's so fucking hard. Get what get as close as you can. But red meat, eggs, fermented food like fucking kimchi, aged cheeses. If you look up, are, steak and eggs bad for your heart? You will get one answer. If you look up, is K2 good for your heart? And what foods are most prevalent with K2? You'll get a different fucking answer. These fuckers, they make it so hard. They make it so fucking hard to get the right fucking information. Oh my God. But don't worry, I have no problem spiraling myself into mental hell for you. Also, stop buying fruit that isn't in season. You can look up. Very easy to look up. One of the things that they actually allow you to look up. Look up what fruits are in season for each season that you're in. Stop being comfortable with convenience. If you are buying fruit that isn't in season, then that's not good fruit. Something has been done to that fruit. It's being grown in a non-regenerative way. Something's being added to it. Something's being sprayed on it. It's little shit like that. You need to be more comfortable with discomfort. It would behoove you, because everybody's putting convenience over their fucking health. And, that's why the number one killer is fucking heart disease and heart disease related shit. It is statistically more likely for you to become a millionaire than to have a six-pack right now. And that is a real fucking number. That is a real fucking statistic. And we gotta get our shit together. We gotta start leaning into discomfort, pulling away from convenience. I guarantee you that if you are able to live to an old age, you are not going to have a good quality of life. And I can't think of a worse thing. I would rather go early than live my last chunk of life in constant pain and discomfort, or medicated, or, you have to decide, do you want to be Joe Biden or do you want to be Mick fucking Jagger? Because that motherfucker is doing good. They're the same age. Isn't that fucked up? That's again, that's all you need to know right there. But, stop eating poison. Stop letting your kids eat poison. School lunch and fast food are poison. And I'm not fucking preaching. I used to fucking do it. I am not on a high horse here. I have done all these things. I have, that's why I am so fucking crazy about it now. Because once you gather enough information and you realize how incestuous all these, government entities are, and how much they stand to profit from you and your children being sick, once you get all that in your head, it makes it very difficult to go back. It makes it hard. I have a hard time eating a lot of stuff now. There's a lot of stuff that I just fucking refuse. I can't even make myself do it. If I'll eat pasta in another country. I won't eat it here because flour is not flour here. They have GMO'd the motherfuck out of that shit. Until we bring back and start harping on regenerative farming, our shit is fucked. More importantly, we're fucking up all the topsoil. So if we don't nip it in the butt now, we're going to lose the option to even do it all together. And I don't think people realize that. That's why it's so pressing. That's why people who are, knowledgeable about this stuff are so fucking crazy, because there's a literal fucking clock on this. It's like a ticking time bomb. There are too many things that are time dependent that are going on right now that aren't being allowed to be discussed. And I don't know. And I still do it. My children are allowed to have one bowl of cereal twice a month. 2 Saturdays a month, every other week. With whole fat milk. Stop buying reduced fat shit. It's not good for you. Also, by the way. And for the love of everything holy, do not buy oat milk. Stop buying all the weird milks. Oat milk has a higher glycemic index than Coca-Cola. Again, look it up. We're fucking killing our goddamn kids. And ourselves. That's why everybody has celiac allergies and all that shit. It's no bueno. So now I'm stuck with the goddamn protein pasta, the gluten-free. I used to make my own, but now that I'm cooking everything all the time, I don't have time for that shit. But I don't know. Once you realize how many things are carcinogenic, the sugar one's easy. The sugar one's easy because you're okay, it's sugar. You can't have that because too much sugar gives you diabetes. The amount of shit that's giving you cancer, seed oils being fucking goddamn number one. We gotta get a grip on it. Alright, kiddos. So yeah, next episode will be about addiction. I'll talk about, both my parents were addicts. I was one. So I'm gonna come at that one from fucking all angles for you. And that's that. Thanks for hanging in there. Oh, today is also the 1-year anniversary of this podcast. So thank you to my 12 loyal followers. My interaction when I got banned, I got really sad not the last episode, the one before that, I got up to, it was the highest I ever had, in the hundreds, and then I got like 5 violations and demonetized, and now my reach is down to 10% of what it was. But that's okay. Nobody's been able to shut me up yet, so. What's that one fucking movie? If you want to stop me, you're going to have to fucking kill me. At some point, I'll also do an episode on new COVID and all that shit, but I'm going to have to put that shit right on Rumble. So we'll see what we can get for that one. All right, kitties. Love you. Bye.